The end of the console war is here, and a media crapstorm set expectations that Xbox was going full third party. The most shocking part of the Xbox business update is that most everyone was completely wrong. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Xbox business update and how I, the media, and a bunch of insiders had it completely wrong. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content. And let's talk about Xbox's business update. Xbox held a business update on their weekly Xbox official podcast today, and with Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, and Phil Spencer leading the charge of what the future is for Xbox. One of the big looming questions that was over that brought such a massive storm among fans that it actually became one of the biggest deals in gaming next to the ABK merger. This idea that Xbox is going to bring some of their biggest tentpole franchises, giving up on their whole entire platform and bringing those games to PlayStation 5, was one of the most shocking reveals that came from insiders that have a trusted track record of a long time. Phil started off the discussion by saying, yes, there are 4 games that are coming to other consoles.
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. We looked at games that are over a year old, so they've been on Xbox and PC for a while. Just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy.
He didn't say which ones, but insiders, if they got any of it correct, are thinking this is Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, the newly rumored Pentiment from 2 years ago, and my favorite, Grounded from Obsidian Entertainment. And Phil was asked specifically,
can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
This was a gut punch for any of those big fans that were waiting for Xbox not only to bend the knee and to give up for this platform exclusivity, but also a gut punch for the fans that really wanted to see Xbox just close shop and put all of their games becoming a third-party publisher, putting their games on every single platform and having zero exclusivity in the future. This is a strange take from a lot of media sites or big fans or content creators and influencers discussing the future of Xbox, where they said, you know what, I think it's okay. There should be a few games from Xbox that should be multi-platform, but yet they've never said that about PlayStation or Nintendo. Phil Spencer says here today that this is in no way a signal for big games or in continuation of a bunch of games coming to other platforms like PS5 or the upcoming new Nintendo console. Phil did say that the games would be over 1 year old, have some community or service-based system, or were meant to launch on multiple platforms. This is something that leads me to believe that it's Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, games that were in development. Hi-Fi Rush especially almost completely missing the Japanese market, the home where Tango Gameworks built the game. Hi-Fi Rush should have been in the Japanese market, but was cut off being only on Xbox, where there are 7 consoles, and not being on a Nintendo Switch or a PlayStation. Phil said that the long-term health of growing the Xbox platform is to have games exclusive to their platform on Game Pass console, but you have to remember that Xbox exists on nearly any device except for a PlayStation. Phil did say that being able to bring a few of these games from Xbox over to other platforms will allow them to circle back that money and bring it back into their studios or further fund continuations of these franchises that they believe right now to have sequels or continue to live on for a long time with community-based updates. Matt Booty even doubled down on this concept, saying that Xbox is one of the biggest game publishers in the world. One of the biggest game publishers on PlayStation with Call of Duty and Minecraft. Now we're even seeing PlayStation pivoting their old traditional model into bringing games closer to PC day and date, or outright launching multiplayer service-based games on PC day and date. And now with the news of Hiroki Totoki, the CEO of PlayStation, saying that they want to bring their games more multi-platform, everywhere where there is compute, and bringing their games to PC day and date faster. But one of the most shocking reveals that we didn't expect from an Xbox business update was Sarah Bond talking about new hardware being shown this holiday.
And we got more to come. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. And we're also invested in the next generation roadmap. And what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
Of course, they're going to say that the next generation will be more impressive and more future-proof than ever. Is she actually talking about some sort of mid-gen refresh, a digital Series X that we thought might have been canceled, or is it the elusive Xbox handheld? Ultimately, this whole thing ended up being one big, underwhelming disappointment for those that were waiting to see Xbox make a major leap, announce something completely shocking and unbelievable, showing new hardware, announcing new games, or the other side, people so negative and waiting for Xbox to bend the knee, give up, go full third party, and prove that they were right all along. Those people that were expecting Game Pass to have some type of big major change, a drop off or cancellation of the service altogether, saying all this time that they were right, that Xbox's sustainability in Game Pass and making big AAA games only on their platform was not feasible. All of them were wrong. Here today, Xbox has doubled down to continue to bring their games where they are on all these devices that are within the Xbox ecosystem and on their official platform. In fact, the only new updates we got are that Activision and Blizzard games were going to be announced soon to come to Game Pass, and starting March 28th, the fairly new Diablo 4 is ready to come to Game Pass for 34 million subscribers, meaning that the service is still growing, and they have no signs or any energy to close that down, or as rumors suggested, add a tier or move first-party games up into a higher tier or take them off of Game Pass. None of that is happening. A lot of that, I was expecting major changes from Xbox to either cut the legs out from underneath Game Pass, bring some anti-consumer practice that would help them move forward, but it actually looks like Xbox is a lot healthier than people expected during this big storm of rumors and ideals that went over an entire week with Xbox supposedly going third party. In fact, if you're wondering about the future of consoles, Xbox did not mention anything other than Phil saying last week they will continue to make Xbox hardware and consoles. That is the future for them. But the CEO of AMD said that they expect console sales to decline with their hardware they're putting into the machines. Also, the CEO of PlayStation said they expect, and also the leadership from PlayStation and Xbox said they do expect console sales to decline in the coming year. So this is the reality of exclusivity, where it will be more dissolved or more gray area about which games will come to other platforms. And it looks like, thanks to what Phil Spencer has communicated here today, that almost all games, and especially the major new titles like Indiana Jones, Starfield, Blade, Elder Scrolls, the new Fallout 5 in 2035 or whenever that is, those will all be exclusive to Xbox and will not be coming to PlayStation. That is, unless by 2035, we just don't have consoles anymore. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for sticking around long enough to see the rest of this video. I gotta apologize. I was definitely one of those guys that put out there everything that could possibly happen, at least the reasonable, logical things that I thought were going to be a part of the Xbox future. Now, I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I talked about big tentpole games like possibly Starfield eventually making its way to PS5 in the next year. That's not happening, and for good reason. It was great to see Phil say that they don't want to damage the brand by bringing their games to other platforms that actually means something to the fans and have an identity for the platform itself. And yeah, I have to apologize for 2 podcasts that I did and a couple of videos where I laid that out for everyone to kind of get prepared for and the expectations of that. Now, if Xbox was going to do some of this, I really wanted to break that down and get an understanding of what that means for us as fans of the brand. And I did a lot of talking behind the scenes with a couple of these insiders that have a really great track record, and I'm sure they're as shocked as we are. I mean, if you want to be conspiracy, you have to wonder, did some of this get walked back in the wake of the media crap storm? I think maybe it could be possible, but our voices, when we make constructive criticism, when we can say what we don't like or what we really feel should be on the platform or how they should do business, if we can do that without calling people names, maybe, just maybe, people are listening. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new weekly content. If you want to further support the work we're doing here on the Colteastwood channel, hey, remember this? They made a whole meme about me on the, yeah, it was great. You can do that by hitting the join button below. You can also do that by joining the Patreon. Those are in the description, those links there, and you can join the channel membership or the Patreon to get early access to videos, some 10 to 12 hours before they go up. Also, you'll have a special name icon, badges that I drew up that will be in the chat, so if you can be there in the comment section, people can see what you have to say because you're a channel member. So I appreciate you for checking that out. Also, please check out the XNC podcast. It's doing really, really well. Mag and I have really got this rhythm going where we're talking about the news and the rumors and the leaks and cutting out the bull crap and maybe giving a little bit of bull crap back at the same time. It's been a pretty good show. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can always listen to that like Tuesday morning on your drive or in your earbuds at the gym or when you're mowing the lawn when it's still snowing out. Whatever you got to do. XNC podcast is there for you, and no, we're not changing the name. No, we're not doing that. So I want to know what you think about all this. This was kind of an underwhelming, not a big shocker, no earth-shattering bombshells, but what do you think about Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, Killer Instinct? I think those are the games that'll launch, and like Phil said, they want those games to have their own announcements. I want to know what you think about those going. Are you okay with that, or are you like, you're just starting something and it's just going to snowball from there? Let me know in the comments, and while you're there, as I always say, be nice.